Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IndieZoNe. My name is Kathy. There is a possibility that if you're interested in the Idaho versus Kohberger case, you might not have to wait until April 9th for a hearing in this case. That is when the first day of hearings on the motions in limine is scheduled to be entertained by Judge Stephen J. Hippler because of a filing that the defense submitted on March 6th, 2025. What is it? This is the defense's seventh motion to compel discovery. First, what is discovery? Discovery is evidence that a defendant believes is in the possession, custody, or control of the government, here the state of Idaho. And so what a defendant will do is serve a request for discovery. And then the state will then respond to that request for discovery. Many times, the state turns over the items, the things, the documents, the video, the photographs that a defendant will ask for. Other times, objections will be raised. An objection on the basis of it's irrelevant to the case, an objection on the grounds of there's some sort of an exception, a privacy interest that's at stake here that allows the state to withhold this discovery. We saw enormous battles on the defense's third and fourth motions to compel that addressed IgG evidence that the defense sought, and there were hearings regarding the same, and orders, and even protective orders that were rendered back when this matter was in Latah County by Judge John Judge regarding that IgG evidence. What happens next if the other side is not willing to turn over discovery, i.e. evidence, that a defendant believes is necessary for their defense? Well, that's when a motion to compel discovery will be filed. A motion is an application for a court order. So when you see as here defendant's seventh motion to compel discovery, that means that the defense is asking for the seventh time, not for the same discovery, but for discovery requests that were made and not responded to according to the defense appropriately. Application for a court order, that's a motion. That's what they're seeking. For Judge Stephen J. Hippler to order the state of Idaho to turn over the documents, things, video, audio, interviews, whatever it is that the defense is asking. And there's a problem here because all of the specific items that the defense is asking for is in an exhibit under seal, and that's been the case since the beginning of this proceeding. The defense has filed all of its supplemental discovery requests, beginning with number 1 through 22, under seal, and the state's done the same thing, and their responses have been under seal. So this is the reason why so much of the evidence against Mr. Kohberger and what this case is about has not been disclosed to the public. It's under seal. Let's take a look at the seventh motion to compel discovery. It says here, page 1. Comes now Brian C. Kohberger by and through his attorneys of record and pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 16F. This is the legal authority, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kohberger is raising that he believes gives the court authority to grant this relief, to grant this motion, and hereby moves the court for an order to order the state to comply with defendant's 22nd supplemental request for discovery filed January 28th, 2025. And if you go to that 22nd supplemental request for discovery, just like the 21 that preceded it, you will see that what the defendant is asking for, Mr. Kohberger here, is in an exhibit under seal, and what the state responded to is also in an exhibit under seal. So we don't know what this discovery is, what's outstanding, what the beef is, why he wants the court to order the state to turn over, and what it is he wants the state to be ordered to turn over to him. Going on to page 2 of this document. Each of the requested items that are still outstanding are outlined in the attached 7th motion to compel, Exhibit A, as an apple, filed under seal with the court. So here we see, continuing this trend, that whatever Mr. Kohberger is now seeking the state to be compelled to produce to him is not known to the public because it's under Exhibit A, filed under seal with the court. So we have to see if Judge Hippler is going to allow this document to be filed under seal or pursuant to his new orders that the parties have to be more open, have to give reasons with specificity why things need to be sealed. Counsel requests that this motion be set for hearing in order to present oral argument evidence and or testimony in support thereof. Requested time is 1 hour. This tells us that not only is the defense asking for a 1 hour hearing, that's what oral argument is, on this motion to compel, they're telling us here that there's going to be evidence in the form of testimony. That means witnesses will be called to the stand at this hearing by the defense. That's what they're saying here. They're moving for a hearing to present oral argument. That's the argument by the defense explaining why this motion should be granted, and or testimony. The testimony is where you get into the witness or witnesses that the defense has produced at prior hearings. Dated the 6th day of March 2025, Ann C. Taylor, she is Mr. Kohberger's lead counsel in this case. Now, also with this motion, there was a second paper that was filed on March 6, 2025, also by the defense. Motion to seal Exhibit A to defendant's 7th motion to compel. So this is the exhibit that contains what it is that the defense wants the state to produce. It is under seal, and this is the motion for the court to grant an order sealing this document. What does this say? Comes now Brian C. Kohberger, by and through his attorneys of record, and hereby moves the court for an order to seal Exhibit A to the defendant's 7th motion to compel. And this is to compel discovery. Going on to page 2. This motion is made pursuant to Idaho Rule 32I, that's ICAR 32I, and a statute, IC section 741241B and C, because they are either previously already sealed or are redacted. For the purposes of this motion, the court will need to see the full document, and therefore non-redacted copies are being filed under seal. Okay, so there's non-redacted copies of documents that were either previously sealed by this court or by the preceding court. That would be Judge Sean Judge, possibly Judge Megan E. Marshall, when the matter was down in Latah County, or are redacted. What are some of the things that are redacted that we've seen recently in the case? Matters related to grand jury materials would be one that we have talked about in some of the motions in limine. There were references to grand jury proceedings and testimony that's heavily redacted. Now, we see the court's order. What has Judge Hippler ruled? Will he allow Exhibit A to be filed under seal, or is he going to be ordering that this Exhibit A will be released to the public? On March 7th, one day after the two documents were filed, Judge Hippler entered an order sealing Exhibit A to the defendant's 7th motion to compel, so therefore it will not be released to the public. It says here, the court having before it the motion to seal Exhibit A to defendant's 7th motion to compel and good cause appearing, now therefore, and it says, it is hereby ordered, capital letters, Exhibit A to the defendant's 7th motion to compel shall be filed under seal pursuant to ICAR 32I and IC section 741241B and C. So ordered, March 7th, 2025 is handwritten here. Stephen J. Hippler, District Court Judge. So now, with the sealing of this exhibit, only time will tell. Number one, if Judge Hippler is going to grant this request for a 1-hour hearing so that testimony and argument may be provided to him to convince him to order the state to turn over this discovery. And number two, since it is under seal, will part of any such hearing be made public, or is it going to be completely closed to the public? We will now await the state of Idaho's response to this motion to compel to see what they say. Stand by. We're going to continue to monitor the docket for when the state of Idaho responds, and also for any orders regarding a hearing on this motion. This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.